Good morning, everybody. We are back at this Rightside campus. We're live on a Thursday, March 22nd, 2018. I'm your host, the Big Men on Campus, here on the precipice of Sweet 16 action, getting going today. We're getting started here, getting you ready for it, and a lot more. Donnie Rightside, my co-host. How you doing today?
Doing good. Ready for March Madness to resume. I know we had some NIT action last night that we picked up a little bit of funds on that we'll talk about in a little bit, Jeff. But I'm excited. Got good games tonight, good games tomorrow. It's nice for the action to resume. Get back into the grind.
Yep, almost over, Donnie. We got a couple more games. Got the Sweet 16, Elite Eight, and then the Final Four, and then we'll jump off into the sunset. And we got baseball, which we've been talking about a little bit more going on as well. Welcome into everyone out there listening. Hopefully, you enjoy the show. Hit the like button. We'll talk about all sorts of fun stuff today. We got some morning headlines. We got some college hoops talk. We got off-topic stuff. We got all sorts of stuff here. Let's get into it. Donnie, why don't you do some shout outs and then we'll get into the show.
Yeah, I got some shout outs here in the lobby. Matthew Varnum, obviously me. I always like to shout me out when I see my name in there. KY Derek, Juan White, David Hutton, Matthew Seeley, Lucky, Don Deasy, Chris Carter, all in here ready to go. And that number will fill in, quite frankly, pretty soon there. By the way, Jeff, Lucky reached out to me. It's time to get some new hood. I'm sporting the hoodie today, but might have the Heartless Edition hoodie within the next couple weeks here, Jeff.
Now, what exactly is that? What is that?
Must be one of the brands that Lucky pimps out there down in the city. I've been bugging him for a while here. He said, give me some time on that. Got a little DM update saying, what size do I need? So, hey, maybe fronting a little bit of new gear here on the show pretty soon, Jeff.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. Donnie, we jump into the morning headlines here today. This one jumped out pretty early this morning. Dan Hurley to UConn. Listen, we talked about this, I think, last week. We kind of thought, you asked me, was this a good decision for him? He made it. He obviously goes laterally and moves up. Um, you know, is the A10 and the American much different? Not really, but you're looking at a UConn from a perspective of it is one of those blue blood, good programs. You can go there and kind of be the guy. It's not a huge offer as far as like he's not really moving higher up a ton. I mean, Rhode Island and UConn are kind of similar at this point, but that's just because they didn't have a high level coach there. They're still a very good program that, with the right guy, UConn will be back, and this is a great signing for them.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see UConn obviously one of those flagship programs for all those years. Even Kevin Ollie got a national title under them, but they've fallen on some hard times. I always like these type of hirings, Jeff, not for the guy that's actually there, but the guy already with the inroads that says, you know what, I'm in Rhode Island, I know how to win. I think I can win at UConn in that same thing. It's one of those harder things that if you take a look at his brother, Jeff, I know you have the national name, right, Hurley. But you're going from Buffalo all the way out to Arizona State, staying in the same region and showing your dominance there. I like the move. I think they could be successful in the future. But hey, kudos to URI, Jeff. When I saw some of the details coming out, bumping his salary north of $2 million every away game, they give him a charter jet, whatever he wanted to do, at all basketball facilities within the next year and a half to 2 years. So credit URI for stepping up to the table. But it's hard when these guys are moving up and leveling up. It's hard to compete with more money, more exposure, and always another ring up on that ladder. But good for URI. We'll see who they fill in with as well.
Yeah, Danny Hurley started out his career 8-21 at Rhode Island. Was there for 6 seasons, 113 and 82. Made the tournament 2 different times over the last 2 years. I would imagine he'd go there pretty quickly and do some good things. They're not. I don't think they're that far off. I mean, they weren't good, but they weren't that far off either. I think he'll go there and do some good things quick. But yeah, I'm in Rhode Island throughout all the stops. But hey, you got to move up laterally in the world, and he was able to do that. The Hurley name lives on in the Northeast. We move on, Donnie. Dwight Howard. What a game last night for Dwight Howard. And, it's nice to see. I've always been a fan of Dwight Howard. I know a lot of people have kind of gotten, tired of him and over him. But you see what Dwight Howard is and what he once was. I mean, what a game last night. 30 and 30. He had 32 points and 30 rebounds. Don't see that very often, Donnie. 30-30.
No, yeah, I mean, which begs the question. You can always add in the joke. Does he get his own 30 for 30 now, Jeff? Since he did go 30 for 30, but you're waking up just seeing that because if it's. I like stuff, Jeff, that doesn't happen frequently. When you say like, the triple double about 15 years ago was exciting to watch. Now guys do it on a night to night basis. A 30-30 night. What Wilt Chamberlain did it like 125 times back in the day, but only one or two people, if that, have done it since. It's an amazing statistical feat considering because if you're going to score 30 points, you're usually going to brick a lot of shots, right, to get your own rebounds. That's why it's hard. If you're going to get 30 points, you're probably not bricking too many shots to get major offensive rebounds. But hey, if you hang around the rim long enough, you're going to get 30. That's a crazy feat. 30 rebounds, Jeff. It's hard to even say.
No, that's pretty amazing. I mean, when you hear it, you got to kind of hear it twice. That's that doesn't happen often. But I saw Wilt Chamberlain in his career, Donnie, did it 112 times.
Yeah.
Had 30 and 30. I mean, that just goes to show you how unbelievable Wilt Chamberlain was as a player and how different the NBA was. But yeah, I mean, amazing feat from Dwight Howard. Nice to see. I mean, Dwight Howard's kind of had, not his career kind of went away and kind of lost it a little bit, but still around, still doing some good things. He's had a good year with Charlotte. They've done some good things with him on the court. Um, Dwight Howard's overrated. He just was in good situations, in my opinion. But that's another story. Donnie, one other one. West Coast NFL teams 1 p.m. rule. I don't know much about this. Why don't you educate us on that?
Yeah, just maybe I always like to slant it towards the Eagles, Jeff. Maybe the Eagles contributed to this. The West Coast teams come east, you beat the shit out of them at 1 o'clock. Well, now they're complaining saying it's an unfair advantage. We're starting the game at 10 a.m. We want to start at 1. So now they're going to put a restriction. Maybe you just need to level up your game out there on the West Coast. How about the Raiders stunk for a decade, right? How about the 49ers, stink for a decade, it seems like, outside of the Jim Harbaugh year. So now you want something even slanted more towards your favor. Can we please only play at 4 o'clock on the East Coast? We get killed every time we go up there. It's hard enough to win on the road as it is. Do I play into a lot of that 4 p.m., 1 o'clock? I mean, yeah, there's also a little bit something to it, but I just find it's kind of funny. The teams that didn't complain about it, Jeff, teams like the Seattle Seahawks, like, yeah, we'll deal with it. But it just seems to think the teams that have gotten throttled over the past decade, they're the ones complaining out there. How about if the Eagles say, you know what? It's unfair that we even go to the West Coast. It's a little bit too long. Why don't you meet us halfway and we'll play in like Kansas City or Denver at this point? Come on, knuckle up, West Coast.
Another way for Donnie to get the NFL into the show at some level. No, I hear you. I mean, I never heard about this. This is actually my first time hearing
Yeah,
about
all
it.
those rule
But Donnie,
changes are coming out. How about the other rule change in the NFL coming? Did you see the catch rule, which we'll talk about in a little bit? This is just horrendous, man. Absolutely horrendous.
yes, making some changes to make the NFL better, according to them. I think Donnie down the road, we will get into some draft talk. That's kind of where I, I I'm in on. I mean, the draft is great, man. A lot of good stuff coming up there. Um, and I'm looking forward to that. I mean, you're already talking about kind of Donnie at this point. Oh yeah, and also according to Adam Schefter, Jason Pierre-Paul has been traded um, to the Bucks for
That's
some
a
picks.
great move
So
by the Giants. That's actually might be a beneficial move for both teams there because for me, ever since the injury that he had, Jason Pierre-Paul, I mean, he's a huge money contract, doesn't live up to the hype, doesn't get nearly enough sacks or pressures out there. That's a good move. I liked what the Giants are doing, Jeff. I mean, they had a bum shell team that gave up last year. New GM comes in, shaking up the system. One thing I think they're making a mistake at is keeping Eli Manning because you might as well reboot that as well. But I can't hate this GM. He's doing the right things.
Sam Darnold had a pro day yesterday. Looked pretty good in a
Hmm.
pro day. It's about as good as you can look in a pro day. I still would take Josh Rosen over Sam Darnold. But we'll get into little draft stuff later after the tournament. Donnie, before we get to the actual show itself, I
Yeah.
do want to discuss quickly the New York Times released the video of Stephen Paddock. If you remember
Yes.
Stephen Paddock
Mhm.
was the guy that
Yes.
did the massacre in Las Vegas. Look, I gotta ask something, okay? Because I wonder about this. This guy literally moved 21 bags and briefcases into his room. I mean, don't casinos have like unbelievable security and they can like aren't they there to pick up on stuff like this? Like randomness? Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't go to Las Vegas. I've never been there. I can't really comment. But I mean, doesn't that seem kind of odd to you?
Yeah, because he's a well-known player there. That's what's
Right.
interesting. Usually when you have a lot of money and you're a high roller at a casino, when you roll up to the front door, you're usually notorious, Jeff, for what? Being a great tipper, right? So you come up like, hey, here comes Stephen Paddock. He's here. You're gonna go open the door, yes or no, sir. And you talk to your friends like, yeah, checked in 5 bags. Like, oh, he came back yesterday, had another 3 bags. Oh yeah, that's interesting. And the next day, hey, by the way, Stephen came in at 3:30 in the morning, checked in another 5 bags. But the thing that I think is going to be a change, and I haven't been back to Las Vegas, obviously, since the shooting there, is maybe there's a number that you're allowed to punch up. Like, let's just say he comes in with the bellhop, right? And he took the service elevator to make sure nobody messed around with his bags and they let him on the service elevator and brought it up. But how about every time he come in, like, hey, he checked in 3 bags, enter. And he comes in the next day and the bellhop gets him. You have to punch in like 2 bags. And then it just sends up a red flag that says he checked 21 bags in like 5 days. Something must be up in his room. Why don't we go check that out? It's really interesting that somebody known, Jeff, was able to take that many bags up to his room. And was nobody cleaning the room? Like, who didn't see 21 bags in there? My goodness.
Yeah, and after a while, like, wouldn't you kind of think, oh, something's going on here? I mean, maybe the guy doesn't want his room cleaned for like weeks on end, and he doesn't, he just wants to keep carrying bags up. I don't know. I think there's something going on here. I don't know why nothing was discussed. I don't know why nothing was brought up. Um, yeah, I don't get it. But 58 people are dead because no one. You got to when you see something, and as far as something like this, you got to you wonder. I mean, they can spot someone from like in a video room. You can watch someone, do something very small on a camera that thieves from your casino, and you catch them, but you can't notice a guy taking 21 bags up to his room. I mean, does that make sense? I mean, if this
No,
guy was
no
stealing for the casino,
yeah.
I'm sure he'd be caught right away, and he'd be
And it
taken in a
wasn't
room
like
and hit.
Jeff. It wasn't like the MTV crew checked in, right? Like, hey, we're filming here. We have all our filming stuff. We have 16 crew guys coming up to the room for this day. This is why all the bags are here. It's one guy coming in and out. Again, I can't fault the bellhops because if you've ever been in the service industry, like, throughout college, I was a valet. Hear no evil, see no evil. The guy's tipping me nice, do whatever you want. That's usually the MO because, again, the guy's a high roller. You don't want to disrespect him. Or how do you know that maybe he was bringing 21 bags up because he had 10 girls coming over and, maybe you disrupted it and he made a phone call down, you lost your job. I understand it from that point, but it's got to be a better check-in method than let me just use the service elevator and bring up hundreds of pounds of luggages here.
But I'm not even talking about the bellhop. I'm saying, like, why do you have surveillance cameras? I mean, aren't you supposed to spot things like this? Like, weird things going on? Hey, this guy's went through, you know, 10 times. We've seen him bring up 21 bags. I mean, isn't this logged somewhere? This is logged. Someone doesn't see this and say, wow, every other guest has 5 bags. This guy has one, and it's only one person. He's got 21. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. No,
I don't.
I don't think they were. I don't think anybody was even tipped off or trained to even look at that. But I'm going to probably assume, Jeff, that's now in the protocol saying, look, if you see
Well, now it will
one
be.
dude
Right.
checking into a room with like 19, I mean, obviously he didn't bring them up all at once, but there still is a pattern there by security. Because again, if you're on the VIP floor, Jeff, there's probably more cameras on that floor than any other floor in the casino because you want to protect the high rollers that go up there, and that's where the money is. That's where the jewels are. That's where the Saudi Arabian princes come in up in the VIP and the higher levels and the suite numbers. So somebody missed something, but I'm sure there's certain protocols put in place by now.
Bro, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is just my opinion. Speaking of hotels, hotels freak me out, man. I hate hotels, man. I don't stay in them really ever. I did recently when I was in New York. Like, hotels are weird, man. Like, they always creep me out, man. Like, do hotels don't creep you out at all? Like, I don't know, they're just
Not the Vegas ones, man. Not the new ones. They're beautiful. Maybe an older
yeah,
one, like something run down where suit
nah.
Motel 8 style out there.
They creep, like, people stay in them, like, and you're like sleeping on somebody else's bed after they eat stuff. Like, that shit's creepy, man. Like, weird and like nasty. I'm
Bed
good.
bugs.
Yeah, yeah, I'm good. Um, Donnie, we move on to the show here to get into basketball. I mean, how many times have we talked about these games, Donnie? It's amazing, isn't it? I could literally
No, you're right. Yeah.
do
Yeah.
this. I could do this deaf and blind, bro. Like, it's amazing. Let's recap what went on last night. Utah Utes get the win. How about that against St. Mary's? I thought they'd cover. I think they'd win. No, not really. Um,
Yeah.
St. Mary's, though, had these gutless performances, Donnie, late in the season. Saw it against Pepperdine. They found a way to win. Saw it against Gonzaga. They didn't play well there. And then this game, they don't even score 60 points. Um, Ralston was great for Utah. They just played harder. Seemed like they wanted it a little bit more. What happened to St. Mary's down the stretch to you?
I don't maybe just a step up in, competition because we talked about it yesterday. It just seemed, we know that St. Mary's blows people out when you get down to Moraga. I actually love the under in that game. Went to overtime and still stayed well under the total just because the two styles of play for both teams. But we look at St. Mary's, Jeff, where they really get after you is if you don't have a middle presence or a physical presence down low and you let Londale do whatever he wants, meaning catch the ball in the block 101, he's going to abuse a guy, Jeff, that's 6'6", 6'7", 6'8" down on the blocks. And also, if you're going to be forced to double team, you kick out. There's no better shooting team 3-point wise to me in the country when they're open than St. Mary's. If you watched the game last night, Jeff, that wasn't the case. David Collette is a big boy down low. You're not just going to wear him down and throw him over. And also, you have more athletic guards than they're used to seeing at St. Mary's. It wasn't a surprise to me, the cover by Utah, but it was a surprise that Utah won that game, especially, Jeff, that we talked about on short rest yesterday going in there.
Yeah, I mean they played well. I like Utah. I thought all year they were a team. They have a lot of pieces. Bearfield, Collette. I mean, they have Bibbins. They have a lot of options there. I like the way they played. That was fantastic. Um, Last night, West Kentucky, Donnie, advances, and they're one step closer to an NIT title, heading to New York. They win another big game against a high-level opponent in Oklahoma State. So they've knocked out USC and Oklahoma State over the last 3 nights. Now they're headed to New York with a chance. I'm telling you, this team, with the transfers they have, with the big game ability that they've played in this year, it's a dangerous team.
Yeah, great. How about that? Great win. High scoring, good tempo pace up there going on the road again, Jeff. In these NIT tournaments, they're not doing you any services. You're getting out there on short notice, going out to LA, flying home, then flying to Stillwater. It wasn't like, Jeff, you're flying to play like Sam Houston State and you should be able to just physically run them over. That was a tough test in Stillwater, and they looked great doing it. So, hey, NIT here, maybe a championship for them coming soon.
Yeah. Northern Colorado, Donnie gets the job done against the San Diego Toreros. Little D-Gen special for the boys on the
We
round
won it,
table.
Jeff. We won. We
Yes,
won the round table,
yes,
DJs.
we did win. Yes, Northern Colorado, Donnie, they're good, man. I'm telling you, they're good. They were down 5.5, made a little run, outscored them by 16 in the second half to cruise to an 11-point win out in sunny San Diego. So nice job by Jeff Linder's crew. And North Texas, what a win for them! Open up a 18-point or 28-point first half lead, cruise to a 22-point victory over Jacksonville State. And Grant McCaslin's team playing good basketball right now, Donnie. North Texas Mean Green. Jacksonville State, you scored 90 points on them. That's pretty impressive. They're a good defense. Jordan Duffy, Roosevelt Smart were fantastic last night for North Texas. They might win the CBI. How about that?
Yeah, no, it's exciting basketball for them, Jeff. These mid-majors, I mean, technically, you get to play for your conference tournament, yes, but anybody think North Texas was going to pull out the conference title? No. And if they did, were they going to make a run in March Madness? No, they wouldn't. But some of these lower-level games, it puts these teams on another pedestal, gives these kids something to play for, and they're playing really well heading down the stretch. Good for UNT. Maybe it helps them out recruiting a little bit down the line as well. More exposure, more practice. Good for program.
And one other one, Illinois, Chicago, the
Mm-hmm.
Flames get the
Yeah.
job done against Austin P. They go into Austin P and win 83-81. We're down in that game. Came back and got the job done. The over comes in as well. Dottie, last night, 5 games, 4 overs in the NIT,
Yeah.
CBI, and CIT. So the only under was indeed that St. Mary's
Yes, sir.
Utah game.
There you go. Hey, that's the
Let's
one. That's the only under we needed, Jeff. So that's the only one that mattered.
now. You had that, or
Yeah, that was on the roundtable play. It was under 140.5 St. Mary's for me.
yeah, don't tout roundtable plays, please. Come on.
I don't tout them
Uh,
out there. Hey, people are going to bet those games that we give out, man. You got to tout them
That's like
out.
the guy that gives out a play at IFBC and then 3 months later he touts that it won.
Nah, what? Hold on. That must mean you're not winning your roundtable plays, Jeff. Come on.
I don't give a fuck if I win my roundtable plays. I just giving them out because we have to. I don't really,
Ooh,
you know.
look at that, people. Rewind this tape next time Jeff's giving out
Go
plays
ahead.
where he doesn't care what
I
money
don't
you have on
I
that
don't
game.
bet
But why don't you just hold on? Why don't you just abstain from giving out the pick then if you don't care if the people win
because
money
I
on
don't
that?
bet really like that. People know that. I give my plays out at night. I've made that clear. That's always been clear. When do I ever give play? I might give out 5 plays early this year. I do it at night. That's what I do. And the soccer plays have been very good on that show. So settle down. Huge
Lost time.
erection. Huge erection said, "I bet it, Donnie. You are the man." Donnie's gone. Never mind. I didn't even know he was gone. But all right, we'll get him back here. All right, there we go. He should be back momentarily, right? We just got to call him back, or
Yeah.
okay, very good. Let's wait for him here. But yeah, there are some. Keep in mind, guys, tonight some NIT, some CBI, some CIT games to go along with the big dance. But the big dance is obviously taking center stage here. Settle down, honey. Said, take it easy. Screwing around here. Take it easy. Yeah, push doesn't win though. Push is a loss in soccer. Um, yeah, it is. That's what it is called. It's called a I don't care bet. You're exactly right. Yeah, well, it's not everyone plays soccer. They only play the certain bets maybe. I don't know. Um, no, I bet them. I bet that play. I gave it out on Twitter too. Um, what's up, Nick Newell? We'll kind of just wait for Donnie here. I mean, we kind of want to wait for him as we get into the we want to get into the Sweet 16 plays here. Settle down, Slew. Jesus Christ, man. If I give it out on Twitter, I give it out on Twitter. I'm screwing around. Yeah, I mean, we're waiting for Donnie here. We're just waiting for him here. Seems like an everyday thing with Donnie is computer's not working. It doesn't work well. What do we do here, Johan? Are we waiting for him or are we going?
I advise to continue until he gets back. I'll let you know when.
All right.
When he's back up.
All right.
I'll bring him in.
All right. Let's get into the show here. We'll get into the picks tonight. We got Kansas State, Kentucky. Donnie and I have talked about this game. We've talked about all these games. I mean, ad nauseum. We're kind of just waiting for them to start here. Dean Wade looks like he's probable tonight to play. Kentucky laying 5.5, totals 136. Look, I think Kansas State's going to struggle to score in this game. Talked about their pick and roll offense, the way they play. I just don't think it's suitable against Kentucky's defense. Kentucky, long, athletic. They defend and pick and roll at a real high level. Even Dean Wade back, he'll help. But look, you got to worry about Kentucky. Will this be a team in Kentucky that will, come into this game maybe a little fat, maybe, up 7 or 8 late in this game and kind of give a cover away like they did against Davidson. They've laid literally 5.5, and I think seemingly every game. It's pretty interesting. But overall, I just think they're a better basketball team. Kansas State has struggled to score. I think they're going to struggle to score again here in this game. For me, I lean Kentucky here as the play. Donnie's got the worst computer on the planet. Correct. You're not wrong there. Looks like the Browns are smartening up and taking Barkley. Looks like that. Thoughts in Nevada? We'll get to all the games. All over the Hilltoppers last night. Yep. Yeah. No. They looked good. They looked real good and looked like the team that I think is going to win this tournament. So there you go. There's a pick for you. International friendly Luxembourg. All right. Giorgio Migliaccio likes Luxembourg plus 130. Let's get into the next game here. Nevada, Loyola, Chicago. Nevada laying 2, total 143.5. Flip a coin here. I think this is a tough one. It's really a coin flip. You have 2 things working for you here. You got mojo for both sides here. Eric Musselman's team might be better overall, but Loyola's obviously got that really good offensive and defensive efficiencies. They have the Sister Jeet angle. They have kind of all this, moxie behind them. They're a really good team too. I've said before, they remind me of Butler. the team that went to the tournament final against Duke, many years ago. They're kind of ascending. They hit some big shots. Both these teams have been pretty lucky in this tournament. We'll see if that luck continues for either of these teams. But from a betting situation, it's not one of the better games. I think it's probably the toughest game to call on the card as far as this one. I'd lean Loyola though with the pick. What else do we got here? We'll keep it going here. All right, Donnie, you there?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm back.
What the hell is going on over there?
I have 2 computers that I got from Amazon within the last 4 days, and I got another one delivered yesterday during the snowstorm. 3 different brands, 3 different models, same exact crash on Windows on all 3 different brand computers. It's pretty funny, actually, when I say it. Like when
But
I
you
did
know
the
what
show
they say,
yesterday,
Donnie.
Jeff.
Go ahead.
What? No, I
Well,
used
I
my
mean,
old
3 different
laptop yesterday for the
computers
show. Yeah.
that's a lot of different computers. Wow.
Yeah, because I want because I mean I have expensive cameras, so I want the latest technology to run it, so it comes in crystal clear, which it does. I hate doing the shows on the laptop because they come in a little bit fuzzy and they're not as good. So when you upgrade, but this is the only application Skype that doesn't work on 3 different brands. What gives on that, man? And every time you call some of these chintzy companies up there, they can remote in, they change it, it works. But the only time that you can actually test it is when we do a show, which is hilarious.
Why the hell are you buying? That's a good question, Donnie, from one of the listeners. Why are you buying computers from Amazon? Question mark.
Well, why wouldn't you? Where else would you get them from?
I don't
Best
know.
Buy? They even have Best Buys anymore? Like where you go out to like
Oh,
the
Best
local
Buy, yeah.
computer store? Yeah, come on, man.
Definitely a Best Buy.
Best Buy's got like
Yeah.
one. Best Buy's got like 1 computer left in there.
No, Best Buy. That's where I got my laptop. Best Buy's good. I like that. I like that place. Got to be an ISP problem. No, I don't know. I don't know nothing about computers. I'll tell you, if it was me though, I'd have been fired by now from Best Buy. They'd have been like, "Yo, big man, get out of here."
Peace. I'll get another. I'll keep going. Maybe I'll run up my. Maybe I'll get 20 computers worth like 40 grand in my house, and maybe one of them will work and not crash. But it's strictly a Windows issue because you get the blue screen when it crashes down, but it's only on Skype. That's it. No other application has any problems at all whatsoever.
You're not looking to transfer to Apple, maybe? No.
No, I don't. I'm not an Apple guy. Like iPhone, the technology's so behind on Apple. Like I look at my wife, has always been an Apple person. It just seems like you're using like a kid's little device from like 2003. It just doesn't have enough.
Really? I actually have all Apple. I have an iPad, an iPhone.
You lost me
I
again,
like Apple.
Jeff.
All right. This is like talking in a tin cup to my friend, string brew. Okay. Well, listen, we're almost we're getting there. I don't know what we'll do. I guess we'll try to get Donnie. I mean, I know it's very irritating when you have a computer problem. I've had him before on the show. What are you gonna do? We'll wrap it up here and try to get by without him. We'll miss him in spirit. What else do we got? Yes, we hear you, Donnie. We understand. It's all good, man. Let's finish her up here. Texas A&M, Michigan. Michigan is a 2.5-point favorite, total 136. I mean, again, though, we did go over these games. I'd highly urge all of you to watch the Bracket Buster show we did. We all went over these games, me, Teddy, Drew, and Donnie. It was a fantastic show, chocked full of great basketball knowledge. I urge you to check it out. This one I lean over. I think both these teams will be able to run their offenses. When you have a player like Moritz Wagner, who is very kind of, you can interchangeably place him different places. He's very good in the perimeter. And Texas A&M's bigs are not mobile enough to go out and defend him on the perimeter. I think it'll allow Michigan to run their offense, pick and pop, that sort of thing. And Texas A&M will have success as well. No one will be able to guard Robert Williams or Davis. I mean, unless John Teskey can have a good game. If John Teskey can have a good game, Michigan shouldn't have any trouble here. But Teskey is slow. He's not too durable either, so the likelihood of that's pretty low. I'm going to go over. I'd go over 136 here with confidence. Both teams should have a ton of success on offense. Florida State, Gonzaga. The key to Florida State and stopping them is obviously keeping them out of transition. When they're in transition, they're very dangerous. They're very good. They're big, they're athletic, and they can run up and down. They also can get to the foul line and be very effective as well. Gonzaga, with plenty of days to prepare, game prepare, Mark Few. I just don't see it here. Gonzaga can match Florida State at position by position as far as they can guard them directly one on one in the half court. That's something that Xavier wasn't able to do. I actually look at this game a lot like Gonzaga's game last year against Xavier. They're a much better offensive team. They'll make Florida State play in the half court and shoot jump shots. If you can get them in the half court to shoot jump shots, that's obviously where you want Florida State. They're just not particularly good in that set. And I think Mark Few's smart enough. He's a good enough game planner to make them play in the half court. This is not fantasy or anything. This is fact. This is what Mark Few will do. He'll get them to play in the half court. He cut off the transition opportunities. Florida State's very difficult to deal with in transition. Mark knows that. He'll wall that off. I think Gonzaga, does cover. I'm not in love with the pick, but I think they will win and move on and face either Michigan or Texas A&M in the next round. I think Gonzaga is going to the Final Four. Let's move it down to the last part of the show here. Johan, we'll do some off-topic things and kind of wrap it up. Zay Jones goes off the deep end. Yeah, Zay Jones is obviously looks like he's on drugs. I don't. There's no other way to really act like that. In Philadelphia, PCP is a major problem. We have a lot of issues with PCP. Basically, it's called wet on the street. It's basically something you smoke, and it's very potent PCP. It makes you, get very hot and very, you feel like you're on fire. So that's when he had his clothes off, that kind of makes sense there. PCP users generally will, take off their clothes. They also have human-like, non-human-like strength. They think they're the Hulk. They could literally do anything, run through anything, jump from anywhere. You think you have like certain strength that you don't have. Very sad though. When you see stuff like this, it's concerning, especially if you're a Buffalo Bills fan. This is not something you want to see your wide receiver doing in the offseason. So obviously a pretty scary situation here. Hopefully Zay Jones can get the help he needs, and he doesn't. This isn't something that continues down the road. I know we have some other things here as far as some NFL stuff, and I kind of want to wait for Donnie with that as far as the catch and that kind of thing. So we'll wait for that maybe till tomorrow. As far as the show itself, though, baseball's kind of taking center stage over the next couple of weeks. Really looking forward to the Diamond. Diamond's a fun place. It's always interesting baseball. A lot of interesting things will go on. I'll throw in a couple futures, as far as things that I like, long term. I'm pretty high on the, obviously high on, the big teams, but, it's some of the kind of the mid-market teams, the Philadelphia Phillies, the Brewers, the Minnesota Twins, even Baltimore. I've made it clear with baseball, a lot of the times the way I bet it is I kind of just stick to the same thing, betting the same thing the whole year, betting Baltimore at home or taking Texas Rangers over the total every game or betting against the Marlins, just kind of sticking to the script with the same things, generally generally will work. As far as what we'll do over the last 10 minutes or so here, if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. We'll get to all those and try to answer, kind of have it as an open forum here. With Donnie not being here, we'll maybe just do that. So if you have a question, you want to talk about something, give me a shout here. Let's go through a couple comments. I'm in Canada. I could care less. Why does the FBI need to be in bed with Geek Squad and Best Buy? Do it, you do, but it is true. Yeah, I've heard about that. I'm not sure. Any way to find out more information about people. And it's interesting. They still can't prevent things. What else do we got here? Any thoughts on Campbell, San Francisco? Not particularly. I like Campbell a lot, but I prefer them in their home stadium. They're not a particularly good defensive team either. I don't have a ton on that game. People mentioning bath salts. Yeah, I mean, I get that. I mean, that's kind of another thing that makes you do certain things like that. This looks to me like PCP, but we'll see. Maybe K2. Yeah, that's true. Skype blows, not the computer. It's not Skype. Though Skype does have a problem. This is more of a Windows issue. Yes, exactly. Luck, correct. Um, you have Nationals and Indians World Series prediction last year. Any guess for this season? I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Red Sox, and I'm gonna go, which pains me to say because I'm a Yankee fan. I'm gonna go Red Sox, and I'm going to go Giants. Red Sox and Giants for me this year in the major leagues. That is one I'm going to make, and I actually want to see what the price on that is because I'd imagine it's pretty good. But I really like this Giants team this year. As far as some of the moves they made, I like the rotation. I think rotation wise, I mean, I thought I saw pretty good things there last year. Zamar had a pretty good season. Johnny Cueto had a down season. Baumgartner had a down season. They all had down seasons, but you saw some things out of the younger guys. The Chris Strattons, the TJ Blotches. Those guys played well last year and pitched well. They were inning eaters. You got Block as a left-handed pitcher, and I also like the fact that they went out and got some really high-level players. Your Evan Longorias, your McCutcheons. But what you did last year is you allowed your young guys to get some time to play at that level. You have really good depth now, Kelby Tomlinson and Jarrett Parker and guys like that. I like that kind of thing. And I look at them as kind of, a team that is going to surprise a lot of people. And not really surprise people. We know the Giants are a good baseball team, but I think this year they're kind of poised for a bit of a run. So what do we got? We got Red Sox and Giants. Let's see where that pays. I got to find that one here. Where are the Red Sox? Boston Red Sox. All right, there's the Giants. We got the Giants. If someone could do that for me, I'd love to know what that price is. I can't really do it because we're on the show right now. But if someone could find out what Boston and the Giants pay, that would be very, very, very helpful. Overs for big Pelf pitches. Tired of true. Mike Pelfrey, I don't believe is on a major league roster. I might be wrong there. Yes, he's not on a major league roster right now, which is a bit of a shame because he is a guy that bet against a lot of the time, but he's not on a major league roster, unfortunately. What would be a good future for the remaining 16 NBA or NCAA? I wouldn't really bet futures at this point. If you didn't by now, I don't think there's a ton of value in it. Probably Villanova, but you should be betting futures before the tournament. Before the conference tournaments even. It's a bit late now. Any soccer this weekend? No, there's a international break. I didn't see you on the international show. I don't have any real thoughts. I'm not a big friendly guy. I am on tomorrow's show. I'll cap them, see what we have. But these are friendlies. These are not. They don't count. They're not anything like that. So keep that in mind. Have you ever watched The Shy on Showtime? No, I haven't. I'll have to check it out. I'm actually watching Last Chance U right now. So when I get through that, I'll kind of delve into some of the other shows. No, I haven't. I haven't watched The Shy, but I will. You're the man down here in Alabama. I joined late. Do you still like Loyola Chicago? I don't think I ever said I mean I leaned them. They're not gonna be a play of mine. Um Projecting scores. All right. He likes the over. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Hopefully it gets that 140 and we cash. What is up with books in this 5.5 number? Not sure. Uh Plus 130, Gabe Kapler gets busted for PEDs. First manager in MLB history. Hmm. I mean, he is a big guy. I mean, he is pretty muscly. Yeah, I mean, I guess it wouldn't surprise me, but I don't know. I think he's just a guy that works on his health. Good morning, big man. Are you having a best bet at 4 on YouTube? Not sure what you mean. Five Dimes has 12,100. Wow. There we go. How about that for a future, boys? Plus 12,100. I like it. Give me it for $50. Um, I like that. I like that a lot. No, okay, 127 to 1 on Bet365. Wow. I like it. I like it. Give me the Giants, baby. Giants, San Francisco Giants, the San Francisco treat. Um, do managers have to get pissed? I don't know. I would think. I don't know. First season, last chance he was great. It is. It's a very good show. I like it a lot. But yeah, as far as basketball tonight, I'm kind of liking the over in that Michigan game. We'll see how it goes. I don't have the official play just yet. Other than that, guys, we'll look to wrap it up here. Obviously, we'll end it a little early due to Donnie not being on. We'll miss him, and hopefully he'll be on tomorrow. Other than that, enjoy the Sweet 16 Thursday night. Got a lot, 4 games tonight. Should be fun. I think starting around 6 o'clock. Yeah, looking forward to it. Hope everyone has a great day. We'll be back tomorrow. Thanks to Johan for producing. I'm the big man on campus. We'll see you tomorrow here on the right side of campus. Bye-bye.